Yo! Alright, guys. This is an important video here, I think, at least. One of the most, if not the most frequently asked position, I should say, in terms of like, who's the best, who should I be using, is third base. And I understand why. Because we were supposed to get a definitive best third baseman in the game for the foreseeable future with Scott Rowland, until we all realized that hitting him with him, especially righty-righty, was impossible. But about a week or two ago, I don't know what happened, there was like some sort of rumbling about Scott Rowland having an adjustment to his swing, that he was much better, much easier to hit with. And I always crush lefties with Scotty, but I could not hit righties. Like almost sub 200 batting average over like a lot of games. And even with Goat out the game, still was bad. Put him back in, and Scotty couldn't get out. Still can't get out. And it makes it even more complicated because we've had some good guys drop since then. We've had some great options dropped since then, even in the time being like literally up to yesterday. And now it's tough. A bit of a log jam here, right? That triangle, third, DH, catcher, first base has been a revolving door. Well, not really. Gil Hodges has always been over there for me at first base, up until recently. We'll get into it. How did I pick these cards? I did this is on showzone.gg, by the way, love them. Primary position, third base, got to be a primary, and meta overall at least at 95. I figured that'd be fair enough because there are some cards that are 95, 93, 94s that are like legitimate certified demons. Overalls aren't everything. So, yeah. We'll start off. Scotty Rowland's S tier, man. I'd like to think so. Is their tier list broken? Okay, there we go. Scotty Rowland is S tier. I don't think that's much of a surprise. Can I try this and see if it works again? He's just all around great. If you could hit with him, he's going to be one of the best. I mean, he's got the best defense and third base combined with overall offensive attributes. Vision's good. Powers are solid, especially against lefties, like 120 at P5. Contacts are there. Clutch is there. Runs well. Got to go with him. S tier, again, Chipper Jones. I mean, he's my third baseman right now. Scotty's taking a little bit of a break because I want to use new cards. It's Chipper Jones. A little bit weak against lefties power-wise, but better fielder than I thought he was going to be, and he runs pretty well, as Chippers always do. Vladito, I'm going to go with an S tier. I think his swing and offense really carry him. No, I'm actually going to go A tier. I'm going to go 8. I don't understand. Okay, there we go. Because the defense is a little meh, but he's still really good. I don't think he's up there with these two. I think he's got a better swing than Scotty, but I don't think that carries him enough. Jazz. My cat's just launched. One of my cats got launched into a door. Jazz is going to go all the way down to D tier. He's not like, he's decent versus righties. I'll go C tier, I guess. I'll be fair. I just really hate how this card looked. Bro, all right. So I got to go all the way over here, I guess. I don't like how that card shaped out. I think he could have been so much better. I think he's punished for being a faster third baseman. He kills righties, but versus lefties, he's still really weak. And at this point in the game, there are cards out there that have no weaknesses on the offensive end that are at that position. So why would you want to use them? Nolan Arenado, I got to go with A tier because I think he's really, really good. And he's a budget Scotty Rowland alternative. He's just, the offensive attributes are pretty damn good, but not as good as Scotty. He's got a much better swing, I think. But defense, great too. Speed, he's really slow. And I think that really hurts him because he doesn't have guaranteed double speed like Scotty does. Nolan Arenado is the king of like long singles. So that's going to be the only thing I hold against him, but I do really like this card. Scary Terry, A tier. He's just chipper, but not as much power. He's a little bit better in certain categories, a little better defense, a little faster, I think. Maybe not actually. I know he's got a little better defense, better contacts, better vision, but chipper overall more well-rounded. I think he's always a better pick, but he's a good, Scary Terry's good. Chapman, he's D tier. Chapman's D tier. Alex Gordon is not a primary third baseman, but he's the cornerstone that dropped at the same time. And he plays third base too, Alex Gordon. He literally is better in every capacity than Matt Chapman. So it's just a tough look for him. He's just too weak on one side. So I don't like that card. I think Perez is a B tier. I don't think people give him enough chance. He's got a very solid swing and his defense is a little weak, but he mashes. Give him a chance if you guys haven't already. If you pulled him from forever it is, if you got him out of a headliner, I think he's a headliner. Give him a shot. Why not? Devers, I'm going to go with A tier. He's getting a little bit phased out since he's dropped, but he's got a really good offensive spread and great swing. His defense and speed leave a lot to be desired, specifically on the defensive end. So for that reason, he'll be A tier, but his swing gets him up here. I think these two are like tied, depending on if you want a righty or a lefty, but I think no one's better than these guys, but I think it's pretty, I have to go Scary Terry. Switch hitters are so strong with slider shrinkage being a thing. So I'm going to go like, this is my ranking, I think. Caminero, A tier. Low A, but mashes. Really good offensive attributes. His defense is just pretty damn poor. But I think that he's really, really good, especially for a 93. He's on my alt team, my alternate account, my second account, my programs and packs only account, and he is a star over there. Casey, I'm going to give him B tier. But his best quality or cat or whatever you want to say, best tool, he can play everywhere. Pretty decent too. He's a nice fill-in, nice flex. He's got a pretty good swing. Underrated card. Definitely a higher B tier. Definitely higher than Perez. Machado, I'm a little disappointed with this card's stats. B tier as well. Better than Tony, not better than Casey Schmidt, because Casey can play multiple positions. The spread is just a little weird. They give Manny some weird stats. Love his swing though, but they give him some weird stats, Manny, sometimes. So yeah. Isaac Paredes, B tier. He was a little bit higher up, but then he's been washed out. He's a little bit better of a defender, but I don't think he does many things better than Caminero. Just a little weak versus lefties, but he had an outrageous start for your boy when I used him. Paredes. I think I debuted him and hit 3 bombs on like Legend or something like that. Or it might have been GOAT. No, it was Legend. It was Legend. It was Legend. Demon. Candelario, I'm going to go low B, but he's still in B because his offensive attributes are really solid. No GOAT. Great swing. Defense is a little weak, so lowest B, but he's a switch hitter that has a great swing and dead red. That carries him a lot. So he's going to be up there. Definitely would rather have him over Jazz. Rather have him over Paredes, to be honest. A lot of people would. Probably would rather have him over Perez. Many people would too. I think I'll stop there though. Joey Gallo, I don't know why he's here. F tier. He's a gimmick. Gimmick card. No, that contact power is unusable. I'll go D tier. I'll be fair. He's fun. Royce, I don't know why you're here either. I'll go D tier. I don't think any of these are Fs. Chase Headley, very underwhelming. I thought that he every time I looked at that card, every time I used him, he looked worse and worse in my eyes. To me, he's a C tier option. He's just too weak. He's just too weak. Contact versus lefties, clutch is bad, so he's just too weak in that spot. Vientos, I think a B tier option. I think he's underrated. That bat, he's mashes. Arm strength is solid too. So I give him a B if you can't with him. J-Ram, I think is an S tier third baseman still. Defense plays way better than the numbers show. He runs pretty well. He can steal bases, and he always has inside edge out the wazoo. And I think he's personally better than Scotty Rowland if you're running double tier 1 Guardians. He gets to gold fielding, and he gets power boost and contact boost. So, yeah, I mean, hard to argue with that. Suarez, he's a gimmick. I'm going to give him low D, though. Pause. Too much power compared to contact. No vision. I think I'm gonna go C tier, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really a fan of that card. Moncada, very high B tier. I'll go A tier. I'll go A tier. I'll go low A. I'll go low A tier. He's switch hitter with pretty well-rounded stats. I don't like his vision rating. I'm not the biggest fan of his swing, but he runs really well and plays good defense, and he can also play second base, which is really nice. And then DJ Lama Lama Ding Dong, I think he's C tier. I think he's underrated, but I think he's, like, for his cards, I think he's not as bad as people might think, but he's not that great. I don't think he's that great. I think he'd play better than you think, but I think this is a fair listing. I live with this. I think the best third baseman in the game, if you could, let's assume for this list, you could hit with everybody equally well. Scotty Rowland, Chipper Jones, because he's just not at the power. It's one thing. It's the power versus lefties. That's really it. Although he does have dead red and breaking ball hitter, which will help that. J-Ram right behind him. And then the rest I'm pretty confident with. I'm pretty high on this Caminero. I'm pretty high on Devers. I mean, I can't get him out. I like this team, man. And I hope you guys have fun when you're using these cards and you enjoy the game lately and you're doing your thing. And you guys let me know in the comments, where did I mess up on this? Tell me where I'm bugging. Tell me who I missed. And let me know if there's any guys that the meta overall being a 95 left out. And there's some cards I left out, though. If you guys look, like, they had 92 Brady House, Otto Kemp, Brian Hayes. Like, those guys aren't going to really make... They're not going to make anyone's roster. The old Chipper, Chris Bryant. Like, these guys are a little bit phased out. So I was real... Like, they can still be used and used decently well. Not that Muncie. Come on now. That's just power. Some of those cards can be used decently well, but you're definitely playing down for no reason. But let me know what you guys think. Oh, boy. This one's a doozy. Okay, so there's a couple things we got to go over here. First of all, shortstop's juiced. It's juiced up. Second, what we're going to do next. They don't have... Okay, wait, there he is. I did add the Michael Young. I must have missed that. Anyways, sorry about that. I don't know why I added... He was supercharged. That shouldn't count. Same with... I picked the wrong Michael Young. Okay, so... Shortstops, baby. Let's get into it. There's some guys here that probably shouldn't be, but S tier, let's start off by saying S tier Brooks Lee. Despite the defense being what it is and the speed, he actually is just too good. He's too good. I use him right now in my God Squad, although he's running some tough luck, but he's in menace, Brooks Lee. An incredible card. Definitely a solid... Like, he plays short, second, and third. Not well, but he can. Barry Larkin? I'm gonna go A tier, and I'll tell you why. He's just a little weak versus righties, bro. And he's just too expensive. I have to factor that in. He's a BR card. Like, just nobody's used the BR cards, man, because no one's playing that damn mode. You know what I mean? He's just... I know he's got a lot of potential, and I guess he can probably still hit for average against righties, but I can't put him in S tier, man. I don't see him ever. If he was S tier, he would be in games at the highest ranks. He would be. I don't care how the card is acquired. If they're S tier, they will play. That's it. Point blank. Seager, S tier. Yeah, no duh. I mean, I don't have to explain. It's Corey Seager, bro. CJ Abrams. A tier, better than Barry. Defense is real weak, but I love his attributes spread. Like, makes up for the defense with a decent reaction plus good speed and a really strong arm for his defense. So definitely A tier, better than Barry. I think he's more starter material. Jeter, A tier, better than both. Love this Jeter card. Use him on my alt as my shortstop. Love the card's attributes build. Love him. Definitely solid. Good arm. Very good arm. Michael Young, A tier. I think he's a little bit below Jeter, but he's right there, man. Better defense, a little less power, but very good. Underrated. Bo Bichette, B tier, no defense whatsoever. Bat's solid, but no defense at all. Like, he'll hurt you in the field. So at least Brooks Lee's got a really high reaction. Like, he's gold reaction for me right now at P3. So, and a decent arm accuracy rating. I'll take that. Jacob Wilson, A tier. I think he's honestly right below. I think he's really solid. His arm's good, defense is meh, but arm's good, and I don't know, man, plays way above the power ratings. I'm telling you, I like him. I'm gonna go A tier. It's a little risky, a little crazy. Willie Castro, S tier. I think he's still the best shortstop in the game if you could hit with him. I genuinely think so. He's just got the perfect build, man. Defense is okay, but the reaction's real solid with a crazy strong arm and really good speed, so he makes up for everything. He doesn't really look like a bad shortstop at all. He plays like a mid-gold, at least like a mid-gold, and he just hits. So I think he's still the best shortstop. You know, spoilers, I think he's the best shortstop in the game still. I truly do. I really do. Xander Bogaerts, A tier. I'm gonna go A, probably right here. Story, I never saw this card. I think he's B tier. I think he's high B tier. He's just not good enough for his righties. Pena, same deal. Right here. I like that. Luis, I mean, come on, bro. He's a fun card, but come on, we know why. Lindor, I think he's playing up an inside edge. He is a super low A tier shortstop. I think he's overlooked now because of the his nerf that he got, but I think he's super overlooked. I think he, with inside edge and the right spots and the switch hitter plus that swing, man, it does carry. I honestly think that's about right. Yeah, Bobby Witt. I'm not high on Bobby Witt. He doesn't. They have messed him up bad. He can't. He's got a noodle, bro. Defense and speed, nice, but you can't hit. No power. Ellie, B tier again. He's like a offline player's like wet dream. Honus Wagner, I think high B. I would have Wagner over these guys. I'd keep it right. I would personally have him there. He's just more well suited to everything. Quirks help him play up a little bit offensively. I have him over Bo. I really do. I think he's a little bit better. I think no, I'll probably take Trevor. I wouldn't take Trevor, but objectively speaking, I think Trevor's better than Wagner. I think. Javi Baez, he's here for flexibility and good stat spread, but I think overall B tier option. Like, again, to define the tiers, unanimous best choices. If you hit well with them, they're basically S tiers, but they're not out the box. But they definitely have potential. Really, like, you're not losing anything here. You're gaining. There's a plus here. These are plus. This is plus. This can be plus if you're really good with them and if you're getting what you want out of them, right? I think most people would probably have Ellie over Bobby, to be honest with you. I think people would still take Ellie over Jeremy Pena. I like the Jeremy Pena, but I think the swing, it's, you know, it matters. These guys don't count. There's no F tier. C tier, Luis, he's just a gimmick. He's a gimmick. He's a gimmick guy. I don't think there's anybody else that really needs to fit this. JP is a DH. Like, he is a shortstop, but just for it, I'll go B tier because he absolutely just pisses on baseballs, but he can't field. Correa, I guess if he's meta overall 95, but I think C tier. I don't think I'm missing anybody else here, man. Oh, Mookie. Okay, Mookie with inside edge. I think he's B tier. I think he's better than most, but I think he's B tier. Sorry, there was overall adjustments. So I'm trying to catch up. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think anybody else really. I guess J-Roll, but he's B tier. That card was super underwhelming when he came out. I would put him like right, barely squeaking in a B tier. Switch hitter carrying. The rest, I don't think these guys even matter. They don't factor in really. Edwards, if you really love his swing, but he's like kind of a noodle, and his defense is horrendous. So I'm gonna go C, like right. To be honest, bro, that. Perdomo, if you really like Perdomo, but C tier. I think I see C tier like right. His swing's nice, but like right here. I think that's about it. I think Jackie's underrated, actually. I like Jackie. Low B. Flexibility matters. And okay, so I guess Iglesias, C tier. And just for what it's worth, like, where's he at? Ozzy. I think he's fun, but he's definitely C tier. Better than Aparicio. So is Iglesias. Yeah. All right. Definitive listing here on shortstops for me. Just to recap, this is what we got here. S tier, Willie Castro, Brooks Lee, Corey Seager in that order. A tier, Derek Jeter, Michael Young, CJ Abrams, Barry Larkin, Lindor, Xander Bogaerts, and Jacob Wilson. I think that I should probably put Barry a little bit up here. No, I think Michael Young's better. I'm gonna go, dude, honestly, I think I had it right, bro. I know I think I have it right. I think I have it right. I just don't think he's just too weak on one side. And A tier is definitely right, but whatever. The in-betweens don't really matter too much to me. But Jeter, Michael Young, Abrams, Barry Larkin, Lindor, Bogarts, and Wilson are A tier. I think A tier shortstops. I think I might be willing to put down Wilson into B. I think he's low A. We'll keep it there. B tier, Mookie, Trevor Story, Wagner, Bichette, Ellie De La Cruz, Jeremy Pena, Bobby Witt, Baez, JP Crawford, Jimmy Rollins, and Jackie Robinson. You know, I think B tier is if you're good with them, you're going to get A tier production out of them. I really do think that. C tier, Carlos Correa. I just think he swings a noodle. Too slow. Yeah, just too slow. Xavier Edwards, Geraldo Perdomo. We got Ozzie Smith, Jose Iglesias. I like that card, though. And Luis Aparicio in the C tier, and that's about it. Let me know if I'm bugging. Let me know what you guys think, what you would change, and who you'd add. All right, we're back with a different type of tier list this time than the previous, where it was just primary third baseman. I'm going to combine two, catcher and first base. And that's because there's a bit of a pipeline there where some catchers could play first, a few of the good ones, but also because there's not enough players per position to make this really work where it would be a long enough video. Because right now where we're at, there are a handful of good options, really good options, and it's a tight race between catcher and first, but then there's a drop off, especially at first base, I think. So we'll get into it. First off, I mean, this is going to be easy. Gil Hodges, S tier, best first baseman in the game. Yandy Diaz, A tier, but he's real close. His power's a little low versus lefties, and he's a push hitter, which I'm not a fan of. If you don't know what that means, push hitter is where you have a quicker timing window inside and a longer one outside. You have more time to hit on outside pitches because you drive the ball better that way. Inside, you get jammed a little bit more. The way you should visualize it is that little green graph. When you're hitting the swing graph, you have less green on inside pitches, more green on outside. That's how it works. Generally, push hitters are usually worse than pull or extreme pull, which is my favorite. But there's some rare exceptions. Adley's actually, weirdly, a push hitter against right-handed pitching and against left-handed pitching. He's balanced. Hank Aaron's push versus both, which is weird. Switch hitters can have a different tendency from each side. It seems that if you're just a righty or a lefty, not switch, you just have it. It's either pushing or not. But Hank Aaron's the only one I really do well with, outside of, I guess, Adley too. Speaking of push hitters, Richie Sexson, I'm going to give him a B tier. He's got power, but long swing, way too tall, and push hitter. Vision's not as low as it normally is, but for me, he suffers from the terminal Aaron Judge disease, just being too big. Just being too big to hit with, and listen, push hitter with that size, it's not, there's just better options, I think. He's not horrible, but I'm gonna go C tier. I don't think he's that great, really. McCovey, I'm gonna go D tier. He's a glorified pinch hitter. This card was added by mistake. He must have been supercharged, so he was there, but he's not anymore, so it was all messed up. Hank Greenberg, C tier, man. I might even be less, honestly. I think he's D. I don't think he's that good at all. That card has had 2 misses so far. New legend, but he's had 2 misses to start the year. Michael Busch, again, man, enough with Michael Busch, bro. He's just a pinch hitter extraordinaire all the time. At least he's got good vision on this card, but man, righty killer, that's it. Vinny Pasquantino, this card is an abomination. He hit like 400 on this for the card, like what it says he did, and he just had the worst stats ever because he's a good defender, so he gets punished. I don't know. Really weird. Eddie Murray, I think he's underrated. I'm going to go B tier. I think his swing is really solid, good quirks. Decent fielder, but switch hitter, that really carries you a long way. Good stats. I like you. Joe Mauer, as behind the dish. Another catcher here. Well, actually, the first catcher, excuse me. First catcher here. I don't know what first baseman first. Joey M's is going to get... I think he's going to get a A tier here. He's not bad, but he's way too pricey for what he does. He's just not even... He wasn't even the best catcher when he came out. I mean, we just got Adley, and Adley's just... He clears. He clears. Plus, Joey's a contact hitter against both sides, which just punishes you for hitting the ball well, which I'm not a fan of. So, I think as a card, he's A tier overall, but I'm actually going to go B tier because there's a lot of better options, and his price has to matter. He's not, like, easy to get. Jason Varitek, I believe he's an A tier... I think he's S tier catcher. I think he's an S tier catcher. He's top of the food chain. You'll see this with Adley as well. I think Adley's a little bit better. But again, top of the food chain. Schwarber, A tier, but it's tough. I mean, he really mashes, but low vision, which I'm not a fan of, and really can't play the field really at all. So his swing's carrying him a lot. I'm gonna go B tier. He's not a good catcher at all, and catching matters, man. Throwing out runners, Beltran gets a free base every time if he gets on base, unless you have someone decent. Even with Adley, I can't throw him out. They need to give him his pop time back. Salvi, he's A tier. And he could play first base. Really like this card. Really, really, really like this card. Hunter Goodman, I think he is a high B tier. Flexibility, decent swing, that carries him a long way. But kind of plays positions okay. Plays a lot of positions, but not particularly well. Piazza, I think A tier. I truly do. He's a pretty decent catcher, but he mashes. I think you need to try him if you haven't, and his stats are always pretty solid offensively. Best hitting catcher of all time. So it would make sense. A tier for me. I think he's a little bit. I think he's there. He's there. Santana, S tier still. I mean, what an absolutely incredible 92 overall. Catcher in first base, plays good defense at both spots, has really good clutch rating, really good contacts. A little bit weak on the right side versus power, but he's pretty much cracked out versus lefties. And if you run double tier 1 Guardians, which is really easy to get going, to get that boost, he is unreal. +5s to contacts and power with some. It's just, he's nuts. He's absolutely insane. Posada, I think I'm going to give him. I think he's going to be the first A tier out of the switchies. His stats just don't hold up as well as these three do. I think Santana beat Posada out in general. Posada beats Santana in the quirk department, but overall, and the fact he could play first base, he gets the nod. I just think that these two are just definitively better than Posada. He's been power crept. Very good when he came out. Would have been S tier before these two, but he got power crept. Bo Naylor, B tier, but high B tier. Very underrated card. My starting catcher on my alt account. Crazy good boost, which I love to see. Defense and power. Love that. Very easy to get that boost too. Yasmani Grandal, B tier. There's a Yasmani fan club. I get it. Power, good swing. But I think he might be able to play first base. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure. But he's got that swing on him, and he's got pop. I think if you play Hall of Fame or below, you'll probably mash with him. So, yeah, I like Yasmani. A little bit lower vision than I'd like, but he still hits. And then Ted Simmons, I think he gets B tier. I think what he does pretty well, but just not enough at this point. He was better on when he came out, you know, with the launch of the game. The best part about this Ted Simmons card is ability to play left field pretty decent in a pinch if you needed him to. But now, with the advent of Prime Series and all these other, you know, card drops and stuff like that, I think he's just been a little bit phased out. I think this is overall, I think this is it. I think this is fair. I think Sexton as C tier is fair. I think it's fair. I think Michael Busch is just D tier. He doesn't do anything versus lefties. That's just, you can't have a platoon guy. It's just not great. And I think that Sexton is just Greenberg, but with better defense, more power. So there's that. I don't think there's really any contest here. I don't think there's any card that I'm really missing either here. I mean, I don't think Lou Gehrig is that terrible. I'll throw him into a C tier. The new Josh Naylor, he's a 93. I'll go D tier. He's a really good platoon bat, and that's about it. Any other guys? Carlos Narvaez, he just did come out, but he's not great either. C tier. No, D tier. He's not really, he's like a defensive guy and a pinch hitter. I'll go C tier. He has really good defense. O'Hoppe, no. Kobe Mound, no. Pena, no. Poor Pena, dude. Wilmer Flores. Oh, I actually like this card. I'm going to go B tier. Very underrated. Very good swing. I like him. So he's going to get a nice little spot there. Gavin Sheets, a.k.a. Derry Bonds. No, thank you. I'm going to be honest. I don't remember that card at all. Keeper Ruiz. C tier, but very, very, very underrated. I'm going to go low B. I'm biased. Gives out vision. I like it for his boost. Palmeiro, no. Jim Tomey, nut card. Jim Tomey stink. I guess Wilson gets it for being a little bit of a double, but he gets a C tier. He can play catcher and first base. Spencer Steer, C tier. Not terrible, not great. God, that moment with him sucks. I'm just throwing in guys in here. JT is a fan favorite, so I'll go JT. His stats are not great, but he's there. I think this is the definitive list here. I think it's a definitive list. I don't think there's anything here that's too surprising. S tier, we got 4 here. S tier catchers. Hodges, Adley, Veritek, and Santana. And I think Santana gets a little bit of a nod for the swing power, but also for being able to play first base, but it's close. He just plays so much higher than a 92. I'd love to know what his meta overall is. We could probably check it out on the website, but A tier, Posada, Yandy, Salvador Perez, Mike Piazza. B tier, Bo, Hunter Goodman, Eddie Murray, Joe Mauer, Kyle Schwarber, Yasmani Grandal, Ted Simmons, Wilmer Flores, Keibert Ruiz. C tier, Richie Sexlord, Lou Gehrig, Carlos Narvaez, Wilson Contreras, and Spencer Steer. D tier, Michael Busch, Willie McCovey, Hank Greenberg, Naylor, Real Muto, and Vinny Pasquantino. I'm going to go, I can't give him, he's such a platoon bat, I cannot give him a starter role. C tier is like a mid starter. You're a platoon here, and that's brutal, or just not even good. I don't know what this card's good at. So yeah, ignore that again, by the way. That doesn't matter. So no F tier, but obviously these are top of the food chain guys. But let me know what you guys think. Did I miss anybody? So second baseman to start. Very, very revolving door-y position for sure. There's a top brass and then there's a fall off. Again, only primary positions. And if you forgot how we do this, meta overall at least 95. I think if the peak right now is Bobby Grich at 97, but mostly 96s at peak before that, and 95s, that meta overall being 95 is fair because a lot of cards get dragged up to that too. It's more about the meta overall works a lot in favor of lower overalls. Helps really show you guys who we're working with here and what they're good at. So we'll start off, I mean, easy S tier guys. I mean, Bobby, like, it's Bobby, bro. It's Bobby. Do we even need to? No, we don't even need to do that. We can just keep it like this. Bobby S tier. Though I have to even say, I mean, not too hard to get either. Really, really well-rounded. He's goal defense after a bunch of parallel levels. Runs decently well. He's just super well-rounded. A lot of power. We could show some, if we could show a little bit of highlights from today, that'd be good. In our last game for our weekend classic to seal up a 5-1 on the main account, he hit 2 no-doubters, absolute bombs. Off a lefty, off a righty, just tanks. So good. Trey Turner, S tier. I think it's okay. So yeah, how do you decide between these two? This is the big question. I got asked this a lot during my streams. Twitch.tv/OhChev, by the way. Get asked a lot about these two. How to decide. Trey, better swing. Bobby, better overall card spread. But what does it come down to? If you don't mind 75 power for Trey versus righties to start, and you don't like Bobby's swing, it's not bad. It's not, I think it's above average. I personally think so. I think it's a lot of lift. I think it's quick to the ball. I understand the love for Trey though. If you want more speed at that position too, which will make him a better defender in turn as well, then you're gonna go with Trey. He's just a little more pricey. Bobby, if you want power, you want well-roundedness, yes. If you don't want to watch a ball die at the warning track, yes. Personally, for me, I've struggled with Treys this year and last year, and I don't have him. I'm gonna save my stubs for the inevitable next collection we have coming up. So All-Star Weekend. Bobby, he's my choice. Man, I really wish I went 6-0 weekend classic, no spoilers. I really did, because I wanted those 250,000 stubs, man. Would have been nice. A lot less grinding. Next up, Ian Kinsler. Man, this one's tough. I'm gonna go A tier, but he barely misses out on being S. He's just a little weak versus righties. A little weak. Just a little bit. I think if you get him parallel 5, he's up there and with Trey, but it's just, he's just missing out, man. He's just so close. Soriano, A tier as well. I think he's a really well-rounded card. The only downside of Soriano is he's just a jam machine, man. This ain't backyard baseball, bro. He's not gonna run, house. It's hard to turn on the sinkers with him from righties, man. It just is. And then, yeah, it's just really, it's tough. Lower vision too. Not bad, just pretty. Dozier, C tier. I don't think he's that bad. I just don't think he does. He's got some pop. His swing isn't good, in my opinion. It's not good. It's tough to hit with. I thought it was better than it is. He used to be better back in the old days. Although I don't think he's that. I'm gonna go B tier. I don't think he's that bad. Altuve, he can't really field, but he can hit. I'm gonna go B tier again. Jackson Holiday, super low A tier. I think his swing plays up. I think this is tough because I know it's primary position, but he could play second base or a shortstop too. I think he can also play third, but his swing is awesome. I like his card. I wish he was a little bit better for a featured player, like the standout featured player of a pack, like the spotlight, whatever they call that shit. He should have been a little bit better, but I absolutely decimated pitching with him when I used him. So, and I love hitting with him lefty for some reason. So I'm gonna go A tier. I think he's pretty solid. Low A tier though, below these still. Cody Clemens makes this C tier. He's just a righty killer. It's because he's really front loaded on power on one side. It gives him a little bit of juice. Bill Maz, C tier. Okay, so B tier is you use these guys if you mash with them, or if you're super budget somehow, like at this point, because you can get this card super easily. If you're dumb budget, like just start out, or you just really love these guys, you're gonna get good production out of them if like you're big fans. But you're definitely playing down a bit. Like you're definitely making you're playing down a few leagues. But that's okay. You like personality. A tier is like still really damn good, and if you're good with these cards too, you're gonna get S tier production. S tier is like unanimous best options at these positions. Like there's really not a lot of questions about it. That's kind of how that works in my mind. Semien as a 92, he plays up 90. I think he's actually pretty B tier. I think he's underrated. I really do. I think he is. So definitive list. I mean, this is not really a shocker. Look, if you guys see, oh wait, I knew it was bugging out. It was the servers must have been bugging out. It wasn't adding some of these cards, man. I knew there were more. Oh, there's so many more. Brian Roberts, I think he's an S tier second baseman, and I'll tell you why. Get him paralleled up. He starts actually playing defense. He's a switch hitter with a great swing, good quirks, very well balanced, and that switch hitter really carries him. He's definitely below these two. But being a 91 with a meta overall of 95, I think after parallels, he's like a 94 or 95 P5, but he's really solid. I like Brian Roberts, big B-Rob guy. Very easy to get. He's a free card. Very easy to get. Christian Moore, I think he is a B tier. He's a little inflated because of power, but he's not bad at all. I think he's a B tier. I think he's definitely worse than these guys over here, but not by a lot. I think he's better. You know what? I like Semien more than Altuve. I do. He's more well-rounded. He's got a noodle, but that doesn't matter if you play second base. Jake Cronenworth, I think he's a very underrated card. I genuinely do. I'm gonna go B, but super low B. His swing carries. Kipnis, A tier. A tier. Yeah, A tier. Dozier's just a higher overall because of pop, but I like Kip. I still think Kip's good. I think he loses a little bit of might because a little bit of mustard right now in the meta because of lefty heaviness. So Double tier 1 Guardian, so he's an absolute freak. Sandberg, this might be crazy. I think he's A tier, man. And I think he's better suited for the meta than Kipnis right now. He just is. Contact hitter versus lefties, but I'm telling you, it don't matter. I really like this card. I have extensive experience with the Sandberg. I'm getting him close to P5 on my alt account. He's very solid. I think he, in some ways, is better than Jackson. He's really solid. I'm telling you. I think I'm gonna give him up. Yeah, I think he's underrated. Renhefo, A tier, definitely A tier. He's just a little weak against righties. Yeah, his number's a little weird. I think that he's definitely a better, I think he's a better option for more people than, I think he'd go right there. I think that's fair. Ketel Marte, S tier. I mean, I've never seen a card that gets crazier inside edge boosts that turn him to like he's literally a 97 with inside edge at P5. And he's just unbelievable. It's the swing, it's the defense. He could play short. I mean, he's God. Honestly, dude, it's close. I won't be too naughty. It's close, though. Chase Utley, A tier. He's just a Kipnis clone, but a little bit worse, I think. Kyle Farmer, super underrated, but B tier. Trust me. Rendon, B tier. The offense, I think he's right. I think he's right there. I feel good about that. This is what I like. I feel good about this. I really do. I really do. I like this setup big time. It's funny how like Bill Maz like diet Bobby Grich like just to utmost degree. But yeah, this is my definitive second base tier list. Okay, I gotta be honest. I'm a little surprised. I didn't think we'd have this many candidates for left field, but we do. So we'll get into it. We'll talk about it, and we'll rank them. So first off, let's do one of these. Yeah. Ted Williams is the best left fielder in the game. It's not close. There you go. List over. Nah, seriously, we'll move on. Jim Rice, A tier. BR rewards, man, they're in the trenches. He's a very solid card all the way around, but he's not remarkable enough to go out and get him. Speed leaves a little bit to be desired, but his offense is pretty good. I think he's A tier. I think there are better options. I don't think there's a single BR reward that's going to go in S tier, man. There's a reason why you never see them. There's just I cannot believe how often I do not see these cards, or how rarely I see them, I should say. A better way of saying that. They're just, it's the completely dead mode. We'll get in. That's a whole nother topic. We'll talk about that. Ryan Ludwig, B tier. Not the best Ludwig build, but not terrible. He kind of hits, but he's a pretty terrible fielder. So there's that. Alex Gordon, I think he's A tier. I think he's really solid. I think he's very, very solid. I actually like him more than Jim Rice, and I'll tell you why. The fielding's incredible. He can play third and first base, which is nice, but P5, he looks a whole lot better out there with a very good swing. Definitely try Alex Gordon if you don't have him, or if you need somebody to fill that space for your team. Ted Williams, I'm gonna go A tier, man. He is insane. I have extensive experience with both Ted Williams cards. Obviously, Ted Williams is on the main account, the 99, but the 92 is my left fielder on my alt account. And he is absolutely decimating pitching. He's just a slightly worse Ted Williams. He can't play the field that well, but he's there to hit. This Ted Williams is here to hit. You put him in the lineup to hit, and he's doing just that. So, yeah. Adam Dunn, D tier. I absolutely hate this card. He is he's trickery. He's full tomfoolery, man. He's just at 93 because of his max power versus righties. Any non-99 with max in any stat usually has 2 to 3 horrid weaknesses because of what that max stat's going to do to their overalls, especially if you're a corner outfielder with 125 power. That's going to absolutely obliterate your overall. So he's a gimmick card. One of the worst cards we've gotten from the ranked program, or multiplayer program, excuse me. Yoshi, really do like this card a lot. I think he's an absolute banger of a bat. He's just so terrible in the field. He's a B tier. He's a DH. He literally can't play him in the outfield. He's a complete liability. He's not like Ted Williams, who's like average to slightly below, because his fielding's decent. It's just his speed. Moss is bad at everything. He can't field. He can't run. He's just there to hit. Jaron Duran, I'm going to go out and say S tier, man. I know he's missing a little bit in the power department, but I'm telling you he plays higher than that, and he's got elite fielding, and he could play center if you want him to. I really like Jaron Duran. I definitely would put him in S tier. Yordan Alvarez, I think there's a reason why I didn't see many of him. I'm gonna go low A, because he could field a little bit, but I think I'd rather have Teddy out there than him, personally. I don't think Yordan is as good as he once was, because we're getting a lot of really good corner outfielders that can play a little bit of defense, but also hit equally, if not better. And sometimes they're switchies. He was hurt a lot by Brian Reynolds being good. I think Tim Raines is better than him. Spoilers. I think that Teddy just washed away that role for him too. Jock Peterson, B tier. Again, mashes, but he can't play the field. So because of that, he's just gonna be a B tier guy. Benintendi, C tier. Just inflated overall syndrome. Not great. Tommy Pham, I think he's a B tier, but he's a a higher B tier. I think he's actually pretty decent, man. I think he's pretty decent. Plays really good defense too for what you expect. Ian Happ, S tier. Better than Jarren Duran. Really insanely good free card, bro. Like crazy good. So obviously S tier. You don't need much from me. James Wood is going to ruffle some feathers. He's A tier. I have him above Jim Rice. I think Teddy's got a better swing. I personally would rather have Jim Rice and Ted Williams over that James Wood. In fact, I do. I have that James Wood on my alt account. I have him not playing anywhere. I don't like how tall he is, and I don't like tall hitters with low vision, bro. It's like trying to. It's 1 for 4 with a home run, maybe. Usually 1 for 5 if you run into it. It's just hitting him lefty lefty is hell. Sliders away, he ain't touching anything. So, Chili Davis, I'm gonna go with A tier because even though his defense is kind of mid, he is a switch hitter who mashes, and I would take him over all of these guys because of the switch hitter, personally, but not Alex Gordon. I really like this card. I think he's going to give you incredible defense out there with a pretty good bat. I want to try him out to get some footage and some gameplay with him. Santander is just unsurprisingly A tier still. I think that his defense is horrid, but I think he's usually a first baseman or DH. So that's why it's going to hurt him a little bit, but I think I'd rather have him than any of these guys still. Dominguez, A tier, super high A tier. I don't think he's S because I think he has a few weaknesses on the defensive side, and some of his hitting is leaves a little bit desired. But I think he plays up a lot. Tim Raines, listen, this is a little crazy. I have him better than Dominguez, and I want to put him S tier. But I think at this point we have some options. Like there's no reason to use Raines other than over Ian Happ, other than like the speed. But I think Happ's offense is going to take him a lot farther, I think, because of the power. Timmy hits way better than it looks with his power, for more power, because he's got dead red, which helps a lot, but he just launches the ball, dude. He just launches it. Don Baylor, C tier, really good bench bat and solid speed, can play first base, which gives him a little bit of an edge, but really an underwhelming collection card. Ralph Kiner, C tier, better than both, hits really well, but a lawn chair in the outfield, DH. Stargell, B tier. He's actually better than, he looks, plus he could field a little bit, but his hitting's really solid. His hitting is very, very solid. I remember he came out the same time that a Christian Yelich came out that everyone was excited about, and that card stunk to Yelich, and Stargell was better offensively, despite when you compare those two seasons that they were for Yelich and for Stargell was just worse in every category, but got better offense because Yelich had speed, so they had to keep his overall down. It was a mess. It was a mess. They're kind of coming into their own now with building cards as we move on, but in the beginning it was a bit of a rough stretch. 88 to 90, 91 was tough, but once you started getting past that, it's been kind of nice. Lourdes Gurriel, B tier. I think this is about right. I'd probably rather have Gurriel than Stargell and Jock because of the fielding, but it's close. Harrison Bader, I think he's B tier, but I think he's actually pretty high up there. I think he's underrated, man. Really, really is. Better hitting for Yoshi, obviously, but Bader's better overall card. Lou Brock, I don't like this card. He's not good at anything. A moonshot, Lou Brock. They made a lot of the cards work. They didn't make him work. I think I'd rather have Kiner out there because at least he's gonna hit. Colton Cowser, super low B tier. If you can get past the low vision, he actually hits a little bit, but he's kind of a platoon. His defense is really, really good though. I'm actually gonna give him C tier. I'm gonna give him C tier, but he's gonna be Wyatt Langford D tier. This card sucked. Just a bad card. They in fact did not cook with this card. So there are 3 S tier left fielders, and I think it's Ted, Ian Happ, and Jarren Duran. I think those are it. I don't think Dominguez makes the cut. He gets dog walked by Ian Happ in every single way. At least Jarren Duran offers something that Ian Happ doesn't, and he's 4.5 tool Jarren Duran, but so is Ian Happ. Ian Happ doesn't have that much power. Okay, so Ian Happ has a little more power than Duran, but on one side versus righties, but he's got a little less speed too. So Duran, they're like right there. I know Ian Happ has the switch hitter, but I think Duran really can take over the game with his speed as well as that swing. So I'm gonna keep these guys here. I'm tempted to put you in S, but I won't. The rest I think are pretty fair. I think it's pretty fair. I don't think there's anything really wrong with that. I do think I'd probably put Jim Rice here. He actually plays a decent left field, so I'll put him there. Let me know if you guys disagree or if you agree with this listing, what you guys think. I think it's pretty fair. Let me just change the angle. Maybe you can get a little more concise. Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Let me know what you guys think, man. Okay, right field. Right field is a little lighter than I thought, but that's why we're doing a little bit of a combination piece here, because some of these are going to be longer than others. Some recent additions really, 3 recent additions literally jumping this list up big time carrying. It's going to be top heavy. Okay, S tier. This is crazy because I usually don't do this because he's a pretty bad defender, but Soto's S tier. He is such a good bat, it warrants it. I usually don't make that trade-off where I go, he's such a good hitter, it's worth even using a spot him in the outfield. His arm accuracy is going to help him a tad in this debate here, but he has been on a generational run for me. Such power, it is crazy. He is just hitting missiles everywhere. Over the fence by 80 feet, everything on the ground. Their liners are 115, 116 off the bat. I don't really feel higher power ratings that much usually. It's usually good enough power, like you have the floor you need plus swing. Then I see balls go over the fence. No, I feel his power ratings. I feel the gap between him and the next guy. S tier Berkman, duh. Pseudo 5 tool. He's just a little slow and his fielding's a little meh, but it's actually pretty good. Gold out there in right field, decent arm, runs well enough, switch hitter. A little light on the power against lefties, but still balanced. Definitely S tier. If it's between these two and you need one at DH, one in right field, DH, or DH Soto, right field Berkman. Helps that he can play first base. That's huge. Hank Aaron. This one's tough because I haven't used him yet. And on paper, he's pretty good. He's not better than Berkman. He's not better than Soto, even though he's more well-rounded. But I think he's, if you're not great with Soto or if you don't want to make that full trade-off, I think he is the next best option. He's very well-rounded offensively. I would say it's still this, though. This is the order. Berkman has no weaknesses. He has none. He's good in places and really great in others, but he's not weak anywhere. Soto's weak on defense, but he's an offensive juggernaut that it evens out. Hank Aaron is not as good on offense as Soto. Actually not as good on defense in some ways as Berkman. He's got a better arm and he's a little faster. He'll play a better right field than you'd think, but this is how I would do it. But S tier. I would do S tier. Crazy, but this next one, also S tier, and he plays everywhere. Right field, short, second, and third, I believe. Wensil, Wisnall Perez. He might look weak against righties on paper, but let me tell you something, man. A couple parallel levels make him look a little better. He plays. The power is there. He plays. I think he's like 88, 90 or something to start versus righties, but that's more than good enough. PCI sizes really haven't been that much of a factor since GOAT gone away, so I mean, I'm cool with it. And he crushes lefties in a meta where there's a lot of really strong ones. I mean, we got now the new Kershaw, we got Leiter, we got Johnny D, we got Randy, so on and so forth. Scooble, you see him a lot too. So yeah, absolutely a choice. New relievers were added to the two Dodgers guys, Motorhone and what his name is, and the other guy, the Polish guy, Sosa. B tier. He's got some power. He's an okay fielder, kind of slow, but I don't like that swing. I think this was a disaster, his rollout. Big time. Big time. Alec Burleson. I like the card, but he is a first baseman or a DH, and his offense is better versus lefties than it might look on paper, but he really has a fantastic swing, and he does his job very well. I give him B tier. I think he mashes. Bryce Harper, A tier. A tier. Soto does everything Bryce Harper does better, but actually doesn't have the large vision weakness that Bryce Harper does. Soto's just an improved version of Harper, so I'm taking that. Casty, A tier as well. Mid defender, but really solid bat, and obviously people love Casty. He might be S if he could play first and third or one of the two, just to give him a little flexibility. I'll take that into consideration a little bit because it does matter, because that's a deciding factor in a guy being able to play in a team or not. Like Berkman, he has an option, right? He has more options. Same with Wisnall Perez. Ryan O'Hearn might be crazy, but A tier, and I like him more than Bryce Harper. I said it, dude. I said it. I just think he's just easier to use. On paper, Harper, many people would take Harper, and I understand why. O'Hearn can play first, which does help a little bit, but O'Hearn, if you use him, I'm telling you, something's wrong with him. He's like glitched, like Mondesi type glitched. Trust me on this one, guys. Not that Bryce Harper's bad. It's that O'Hearn's got that magic. He's got the magic. And the first base, secondary helps edge it out a little bit, because he's not bad at right field at all. High 60 speed, I think, or 60-something speed, and like 70s fielding. He's very tall, so he has a little range, but he can play first base. Al Kaline, I mean, just an irrelevant guy. B tier, just irrelevant, genuinely. Weird splits. Aaron Judge, B tier. He's a DH. Better than these guys, but not better than Sammy. I'd rather have Sammy than Judge, because Sammy can kind of play the field. Judge is horrible out there. And it shouldn't be that way, but he is. Acuna, crazy take here. Low A. He's a low of the bunch here. I think Acuna will still be Acuna, but to an extent. Like, if I ask for Dr. Pepper and you give me Pib, like, and Dr. Pepper's the Acuna I want, you gave me this Acuna, which is Pib. So, yeah, he's there. I'd rather have... He doesn't hit well enough to justify. His defense isn't that good either. It's all steal rating. And it's just, look, having a little bit of pop and having some steal ratings and high arm strength and right field will raise your overall. I'd rather have these three over here than Acuna in right field. I really would. I think, maybe call me crazy for that. He's not bad, but not as good as he should be. Roman Anthony, I think B tier, but I think, dude, I would rather have him than these guys. He can actually play the field quite well. Cam Smith, B tier. I would put him right there. I don't think Kaline's even... Kaline's... I think he's C tier, dude. He's weird. Corbin Carroll, B tier. He would have been A before he getting phased out, but he's still pretty good. I'd go... I think he's got more play than Sammy, personally. I think he's got more talent, more tools. Most people would have more fun with Corbin Carroll, although I think it's really close. It's really close. I don't know. I think it's... I'm gonna go Corbin. I think he does a bunch of things really well, and Sosa doesn't do really power versus righties, but that Corbin will take that role. Will Benson, gimmick. He's a pinch hitter. You know what? I hate this card. F tier. I think he's a scam. Brent Rooker, D tier. He's hyper offense. If you really like Brent Rooker, you can mess with him. Tony Gwynn. I think he's underrated. I think I'd rather have him out there than any of these guys. I'm gonna go A tier. I am gonna go A tier. I think I'd rather have him than Acuna. Very good build on his card. I like him. I think this is where I'd have it. I think I'd rather have it here. And Giancarlo Stanton, I want to do it. I'll put him right here. I don't like that card. An absolutely horrendous weekend classic reward, but having high power and people playing on lower difficulties, you're probably using him a little more. That carries a lot to B tier. Yeah, I think this is the definitive right field list. I think there are 4 S tiers now, which are great. I think Wenzel, you probably won't see him too much in right field because of that position being a little stacked right now. I think this is solid. Don't sleep on O'Hearn. I'm telling you. Objectively, Bryce is a better card overall, but I'm telling you, O'Hearn has just the play factor, he's got it. If Corbin was a little better versus lefties and not as hard to hit with lefties, I think he'd be a little bit up there. I think he might be low A, but I think this is... B's not bad. That's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you guys think about right field, and we're gonna move on to center field, baby. And the final stop on this train. Final stop, center field. This one's a doozy. A lot of cards, a lot of options, and some really interesting choices, and some cards that are like phony, bro. Some just frauds. But we'll get into it. I mean, this is easy. First S tier, best card in the game, best card in Diamond Dynasty history is Carlos Beltran. So there you go. He's Mickey Mantle with a better swing. Speaking of Mickey Mantle, S tier. Next up on the list, he'll be in a lot of people's corner outfield because of Beltran, but I have him in right field. Fun fact, center fielders only get they get a secondary penalty even if they're out of position in left or right. So Mickey doesn't have left or right field. You play him out of position, it's just -5. It's the same thing. So it's like how shortstops barely get hit with a penalty if they play second base, even if they don't have it, same thing. Joe Adell, A tier. I think he's a really good bat. Great free card. He's just a little too weak in center field. Not fast enough, and his defense reaction's low. He's a corner outfielder or a DH at best, I think. Probably a DH. McCutcheon, S tier, right behind Mickey Mantle. He's a 5-tool player. He's just not a switch hitter. His defense and speed are going to play a lot better in center than you think. Get him parallel, you'll be fine. Willie Mays, the B tier. Doesn't really do a lot of things really well. It's like every other lower diamond non-99 Willie Mays. Because he's a 5-tool, you take him and you lower him, he's just going to be mid at everything, right? They don't have any, like when you have no defined weaknesses, you very rarely have standout strengths. So yeah, Evan Carter, A tier and above Joe Adell. I think his weaknesses versus lefties are really not that serious. I mean, he absolutely pissed on one against me today when I had Johnny D on the mound, but he's a more 5-tool than Joe Adell. I like him in center field, so I like that. I think he's a little bit better in that capacity. George Springer, I think he's B tier, high B. I don't think he hits well enough to justify that. And I think his defense is decent, but he's not fast enough for center, I don't think. But he's a really good right fielder. Very high B tier, potentially low A tier. We have to see how this works out. Grady Sizemore, I think he's A. I think he's underrated. I think he's very much McCutcheon, but a little bit worse. I do use him on double tier 1 Guardians, which makes him a lot better, but I think he plays. Very great swing too. He's hurt by the lefty meta, but I think he's definitely well-rounded enough to play in that position. I honestly would give him the nod over Joe Adell because of the ability to actually play the field. That matters. Joe Adell really can't play center field. If you can't play your position, you know, that's going to hurt. Cedric Mullins, B tier. Hits well, pretty well, but his defense is atrocious. His defense is worse than his live series. So, yeah, he's better than him. Maybe not. He's better bat, but not as good of a defender. So, yeah. Buxton, I think he's A tier. I think he'd actually play center field. So I'm going to put him there. It's close, though. I might put Joe Adell. Yeah, I'll do that. This is what I'll do. I like this, actually. TJ, okay. Let's settle down here, all right? D tier. You know, he's a gimmick. Bernie Williams, B tier. Way too weak on one side and not a good defender, but he could play corners decent, and he has a really good functionality as a lefty annihilator, but not much of a... He's a corner outfielder or a DH, and he's way weaker against righties. The 92 Joe Adell. I think he's pretty decent. I'm going to go low B. B tier. He's a fraud. Can't really touch righties, and that vision's way too low. It's 50. Pretty decent defense, but B tier. I'd rather have all of these cards out there over him. So Mike Cameron, A tier. A tier and higher, baby. He gets the play over these guys to me. Love me some Mike Cameron. Kelnick, B tier, probably like right here. Eric Davis, C tier. He's just too weak on one side, man. Chris Taylor, C tier. I'm playing him in center. Jung-Hoo Lee. He's more of a right fielder, I think, personally. Underrated, but I'm gonna go C. Brian Reynolds. This is crazy, but he's S tier, bro. I can't believe how good this card is. And he's got right field secondary. He's just unreal. I'd still probably rather have McCutchen at this point of the year, but it's close. Like, if you told me you don't want McCutchen, you can't hit with McCutchen as well as you can with B-Ray, and you're going to start him, I wouldn't even blame you. So he's going to be S. Adolis Garcia, potential fraud watch, but he's really good on defense. He would be a much better right fielder. I'm going to put you right here. No, gimmick card. Fun, but gimmick card. He can't hit lefties. Doby, underrated, but not a center fielder. C tier, but there. Griffey, I think B tier. I think B tier is fair. I think B tier high. I'll put you right there. I think he's underrated. Andre Dawson, BR cards, brother. My goodness, man. I'm gonna put you, I don't know, man. This one's tricky. This is the big one for me. PCA's live series is technically a higher overall because he's got more power versus righties and a better clutch rating by a little bit. Not as fast. Well, PCA's defense and speed's all 99s everywhere. PCA, his live series is pretty much there, but not maxed out yet. But the difference is Egg Hunt PCA has max bunt ratings. Although bunting is like nerfed to all hell now. It's like it sucks. Can't get a bunt down now. And I think that PCA's his live series has lower vision and is way worse versus lefties compared to his Egg Hunt card. His Egg Hunt card is a little more power. I just looked at this today on my alt account because PCA was my center fielder until I just got my Cameron and until I got Kutch. But he's like 72-47 versus lefties or something like that for me right now, while his live series is like 40 and 50. So I'm gonna give it the edge out here to PCA. I think he's just a little too weak offensively to justify being any higher than. I think he's low 8. He just can't hit, but he's such a strong offensive defensive presence. I'm gonna go super high B tier. I can't. His offense is just too bad. But no, I'm gonna go A tier, man. I'm gonna go A tier. I don't care. His other one's gonna go high B. But dude, he's just so good out there, and he's glitchy at the plate, and he against lefties, he just bunt or just. He had a perfect hit for me off today against the lefty, which was kind of cool. Up the middle, went like 2 miles per hour, but he got a hit. I think this is fair. The Springer down here is just because I picked him twice. But I think this is it. I think this is it. Doby's only sneaking into C tier, but like he can't play center really, but he can play left and first, second, and short and stuff like. Oh no, I don't think he plays first. I think it's like short and second. So that's really important. That helps him out there. Same with Cruz. Jung-Hoo Lee is just glitchy. Christopher Taylor, he plays. I don't know why I gave him a full name like that. He plays a lot of positions. Davis is just fun and glitchy, and he can actually play center field a little bit. So can Cruz. I mean, Cruz had a generational. When I used the spotlight team, bro, he went insane. He played a crazy center field. I think this is a fair listing. I think that this is justified in its existence in this way that it is. I don't think anyone can really challenge this. I can't believe Ryan Reynolds is as good as he is still, but you guys let me know if I'm missing out anywhere here, if I'm bugging. You know what? I'm actually going to go. Joe Adele can't play center field, but his bat is better than PCA enough to make that decision for me. So there's that. Crazy, call me. Do it. Why not? Hope you guys enjoyed these tier lists, man, this ranking, and let me know where I'm bugging. Let me know what you would change, and let me know who I missed. And who's the sleeper pick for you guys? I want to know that. More of these soon. Peace.